भवतो सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। So now he says that I have somewhat elaborated this matter as it is of use for you to know such facts, and the information is of value to you. It serves to throw light upon a problem which is an increasingly large number of people are called upon to face. So that is why he has discussed about this problem. The problem means the problem of sexuality. It was so much discussed in the previous pages because increasing number of people who are facing the problem. Psychologists, social workers, physicians, and all those occupied with group training constantly meet with this problem. And it is just as well that some distinction is made between the types which must be considered, clarifying the issue. So for that purpose he has elaborated. You will find in these instructions many hints which, though they may not be classified definitely as instructions in healing, yet fall into that category, for they will make those of you who read more efficient in understanding this. So when we read these instructions, so we will understand the problem, and also we can know the solution, how we have to get over the problem. If it is only describing the problem, it will be like modern psychology, without solution. But here, he explains the problem and also he gives the instruction and the solution for this. You will note also from the above how this taint, as might well be expected, has its roots in the astral or sentient body, the body of sensation. So we are discussing about the problems of sex, and he says that it is rooted in the astral and sentient body. It has its roots in astral and sentient body. What is sentient body? The body of sensation. It is for this reason I have included it. It would be an interesting experiment in analysis if these various well-known difficulties, diseases and complaints could be classified under their originating impulses. So few of them have a mental origin. So he is now explaining about the origin, from where they are originating. According to this place of origin, you can classify them in this according to this. So few of them have a mental origin. In spite of all that Christian science or mental science may say to the contrary. Perhaps I should say rather that they are not based on wrong human thought, though all evil can be aggravated and intensified by wrong thought. Many or perhaps most of the complaints from which average man suffers are based upon astral causes. So this is most important. Because the astral plane is such a plane where you have all the activity of because the influence of the desire is on the astral plane. So in the astral plane activity, you have more accumulation of the filth. Because the possibility of sin. So actually what is the origin of sin? That was also a question posed by Arjuna to Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. I told you, in Bhagavad Gita nothing is left behind, unanswered. You have answer for everything you can find. So Arjuna asked Krishna, please let me know what is the origin of the sin. Because why so many people are getting into sinful acts, sinful thinking, all this sin. Where is the origin of the sin? Then the Lord said, Kama eshaha krodha eshaha rajoguna samudbhavaha. That means kama, desire nature, and krodha means anger, rage, what you call rage. Kama is desire, and krodha is what we call rage or anger. So these two are sprouting from rajoguna. You have tamas, rajas and sattva. So rajas, activity. These two are sprouting from rajas, rajoguna, the quality of rajas. Kama eshaha, krodha eshaha, rajoguna samudbhavaha. So this is the originating place for sin. That is what he said. Because this kama and krodha, it means desire and rage or anger, they destroy the discrimination of the person. So when the discrimination is destroyed, then your action is always a wrong action which goes against the law, and the result is sin. So why human beings commit sin is because their discrimination is destroyed by these two, which originate from excess of rajoguna. The three gunas, the three qualities make a triangle, as you know. Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Tamas is inertia, Rajas is activity, and Sattva is equilibrium, balance. Actually, Sattva is not a guna by itself, but it is considered. Sattva is a poised state of balance between these two. When these two are in balance, that is already Sattva. It is like the pivot of a balance. When you hold the balance with the pivot, if the pointer does not move this side and stands in the middle, then it is in Sattva, in balance. That is the symbol what you see for Libra also. And they represent in pictures. So balance. So this Rajas, because Rajas is activity. So without balance, Rajas, there should be activity. Without activity, you have no creation and no all these changes. But it should not be hyperactivity. Activity should be there, but it should not be over. Master E.K. has given a wonderful example to explain how will be the life of a human being who is in excess Rajas, who is in excess Tamas, and who is in Sattva. So he has given the example of a cart driven by a horse. So if the cart is too strong and the horse is too weak to pull the cart, so it is very difficult to move this cart. The one who wants to make a journey, for him it is difficult, because the horse has not enough power to pull the cart, because the cart is too strong, too heavy for the horse, and the horse is weak. That is tamas. So the life of such fellow will be experienced like this. That means he can have some ambitions or some ideals, but they cannot be brought into action because of tamas. You have many such persons who have many ideals. What is required is not ideal but action. G.D. Krishnamurti, he said, he has given a sentence about the ideal. He said, ideal is but action postponed. Krishnamurti said, what you call ideal, ideal is but action postponed. Ideal. So what is required is not ideal but action. Some people say, I have many ideals in my life, but nothing is brought into action. If I say,
ideal is,
but action postponed. For example, if I say, I want to learn completely Rudra Sukta, yes, but it will be, if it is only ideal, even after 1 year, 2 years, you will say the same thing. I want to learn Rudra Sukta, I want to learn Sukta. But nothing happens. You have to put into action, start. When you start action, then it is okay. Then it is not ideal. It is action. If you want to postpone the action, you say, I will definitely in future learn Rudra Sukta. In future, I will learn Rudra Sukta. So you can note down in your diary, I will learn Rudra Sukta. And next year, new diary will come, I will learn Rudra Sukta. So ideal is, but action postponed.
In Russia, we have anecdote about this. I again want to go to Paris. You already been. No, I already wanted.
So when the horse is not strong enough to pull the cart, which is too heavy for the horse, that is like tamas. So the life of such fellow is like that. Other is how rajas, there the horse is very strong, but the cart is very old and about to be broken. So it cannot withstand the speed of the horse. The horse can pull at great speed and the cart will be broken. It cannot withstand the force because the cart is too old and also too much for repair also. So that is the life of the fellow who has much rajas, domination. If you are dominated by rajas, that is the situation. So the third alternative is, when the horse is strong enough to be able to pull the cart, and the cart is strong enough to be able to withstand the pull of the horse, then it is sattva, it is balance. That will be the life of a fellow who is dominated by sattva. This example is given by Master E.K. in his small book, Occult Anatomy. Now we can understand, from this example we can understand about this. How will be the life of these people? Unless we relate to our life, we cannot understand this. So therefore, Lord Krishna said, the origin of sin is Rajoguna. Because it stimulates Kama and Krodha. The desire and rage are stimulated by Rajoguna. That is why you always get into wrong action. Many or perhaps most of the complaints from the average man suffers are based upon astral causes and upon some clearly defined desire. Clearly defined desire. When your action is motivated by desire, then it leads to problem. Because when you have a desire, then you have no discrimination. If you go according to desire, if it is a need, then it is okay. But if it is a desire, and if you start acting according to desire, then you will not use the discrimination. And then this leads to ill balance, disharmony, and it disturbs the alignment in your various levels of consciousness. A formulated desire is one that finds expression in some form of activity. So this is another important sentence. A formulated desire. A formulated desire is one that finds expression in some form of activity. Of these, homosexuality is one of the clearest to define. That is why he has given this sentence. Homosexuality is one of the clearest to define. The other diseases to which humanity is heir are sometimes not so easy to clarify and define. There are many diseases in humanity, in human race, but they cannot be so easily defined. But homosexuality is very clear to be defined according to this. The man or woman is a victim, but the cause producing the illness or difficulty, because now this has become a big problem. This homosexuality, it became a global problem now. It is primarily because the discrimination in the person is totally destroyed. Because if the discrimination is properly working, then you can understand the cosmic laws and laws of nature. If you understand the laws of nature, then you will not get into such wrong activity. So if a person got into such a wrong activity, means there is no understanding of the cosmic laws, the laws of nature. So then discrimination is totally shattered away. Then it goes into action, and that action is steered by this wrong thinking, wrong understanding. So the man or woman is a victim, but the cause producing the illness or difficulty, physical or psychological, lies hidden in the long past, which the victim is unable to investigate. The cause is from the long past, and it is not so easy to investigate the cause. The person is victim of this disease, man or woman. So the cause lies in a long past. The victim is unable to investigate, nor can he arrive at the cause producing the effect. So the effect is experienced now, but he cannot arrive at the cause because it is of the very old origin. All that he can affirm is that in all probability, desire was the initiating impulse. In this case, the initiating impulse is desire. So if your action is based on desire, then there is no use of discrimination. So this is where we have to clearly understand. Everybody has the power of discrimination, like a capsule in our consciousness. But we have to open this capsule. Otherwise, we may spend all our life without opening the capsule. There is a wonderful, important capsule in us, that is power of discrimination. But it is inside the capsule. We spend away our life without opening and using the capsule, which is inside us. So what can the Lord do? He is also helpless, because He has given us to make use of it, but we have not opened it. Because we are overpowered and steered by desire. That is the reason. That is the simple reason for that. No time was given to us because we are preoccupied by the desire. All our motives are controlled by desire. What human beings are today and what they suffer is the result of their long past, and the past presupposes long and well-established habits. Long and well-established habits. Such habits are inevitably the results of one of the two factors. He is giving now two factors. Such habits are inevitably the result of one of the two factors. One is desire dominating and controlling the action. Desire dominating and controlling the action, that is one factor. And the other factor is mental control which substitutes for desire. Mental control which substitutes for desire, a planned campaign. A planned campaign which will run counter in many cases. It is not companion, it is campaign. To the normally sense-defined desire. Mental control which substitutes for desire.